Elephant Man Podcast Network, grown man conversations dealing with elephants in the room. It's your man DB. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can know when new material is coming out. IG, Elephant Man _podcast, Twitter /Poster Boys, Facebook / Elephant Man Podcast, or you can hit that Paleo Hebrew in the bottom right or top right or bottom right to subscribe to YouTube. Blessings. Subscribe, like, share. Also, Rumble, BitChute, Hebrew Connect, Hebrew Sphere. I got to get some of those together, right? I'm on some of those, but I got to get them together. And if I can't manage them and get them together, I'm going to come off. As you see, I'm not on the Rumble room. I'm not Rumble. I'm sorry. The Clubhouse. That's what I meant to say. I'm not in there. So shalom, blessings to everybody. I'm trying to be consistent. Sunday evening at 6 p.m. Central is the time that we said that we're either going to come together and chew the fat, chop it up. Blessings to everybody. Blessings. Oh, let me get that off of there. All right. Blessings to everybody. Shout out. Blessings to everybody. Also, we gonna what we gonna talk about? Where's my picture at? I ain't got my picture, man. See, I'm starting off bootleg. Where's my woke baby at? Woke baby. Subscribe. That's woke baby. All right. So here you go. Here's another picture of woke baby. Part 2, woke baby. Hate that word woke. I don't know why they hate that word woke. It is what it is. All right. So blessings. Hope you all had a blessed Shabbat on yesterday and a blessed week. And, I work at a school, so I'm on spring break. Next week, it's the coldest Antarctic spring break ever. It was 21 degrees, and right now it's 34. It was better than yesterday, but it was cold. And it usually warms up once it's time to go back. So that's interesting to have it the second week in March, spring break. It is what it is. So it's a week off, paid. So I'm not gonna complain. Thank you, Abba Yah. I can get some stuff done. All right. So let's see who in here. You love Yah. Salama Yasharal. Blessings to you. Salama. Blessings to you. Charles West. Shalom, family. Blessings to you. All right. Adjutant Bowden. Peace and blessings, fam. Peace and blessings. Kimberly J. Shalom. Blessings to you. Yo, my man Dale J. Thank you once again. Dale J is a tremendous supporter. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you as well. Woke Baby is excited too. So last night I got a lot of little projects going on, but last night I tried to get on. Shout out to Sister E. I tried to get on her show yesterday. She had some talks about reparations. So, and that's one thing I know what we're going to do on these Sunday nights. It's going to be a little mix of everything. Sometimes it's going to be Brews News. And sometimes it's going to be, a study and prayer and worship. And sometimes it's going to be just a game show or open up, the live and have people come in. But today I'm going to probably talk about, we got more people coming in. Love Yah 78. Shalom, blessings. Welcome, Love Yah 78 in the building. Latitia Israel. Man, tore it up. Shalom, blessings to you as well. So I jumped on there yesterday, Sister E's, and I was trying to because the subject was talking about reparations. And I had wrote down my stuff, and I was going to get it in and talk about reparations. And long story short, I didn't get a chance to say anything because there was no kind of an order type thing, and no shade to Sister E and none of the panel. It was just like shout out whoever can shout the loudest, they can go next. And so first 30 minutes, it was just like there were two guys just talking about some of the Black Jesus guy, Black Jesus Messiah, or whatever his name is. I forgot his name, and it was another guy, and they were just going at it for 30. I was like, oh wow. Then we finally got back on reparations, and so we was about to talk about it, what I mean? And then we just couldn't talk about it, what I mean? Because it's just everybody in the chat and everybody in the live. So I was like, man, I really, are you seeing me? I was gonna get on there and say some stuff, you know what I mean? I was gonna stay on subject too. Yeah, I was laughing. I was straight laughing, and I put these eyes up too. But I was straight laughing, I mean, with the little argument at first. No, my brother, you don't know me, and you don't know me, and what they talking about? I didn't know what was going on. I just want to talk about the subject. So since I couldn't talk about the subject today, I'm gonna talk about it. Yesterday, I'm gonna talk about it today. But I'm gonna show a few videos. I'm gonna play all my videos, and then we're gonna talk about it. Now, when we do these different talks and different bills, I'm not doing these talks and bills to stir up your flesh, get you mad, none of that. It's just some conversation. Then I'm gonna give my point on it. Then I'm gonna ask you guys in the chat. But I'm gonna show this first little video real quick, and then we're gonna get it in. Okay. So let's show this first little video.
The task force for reparations in California met in Oakland, and they discussed things that have come up since their initial meeting. Now, of course, they have decided that reparations is due to Black Californians for the following reasons: government taking a property, devaluation of Black-owned businesses, housing discrimination and homelessness, mass incarceration, and over-policing and health, just to name a few things. Now, some of the questions that came up were in regards to the task force must determine when each harm began and ended, and who should be eligible for monetary compensation in those areas. For example, the group could choose to limit cash compensation to people incarcerated between 1970, when more people started being imprisoned for drug-related crimes, to the present, or they could choose to compensate everyone who lived in police Black neighborhoods, even if they were not themselves arrested. Well, if you ask me, that's just about every Black person that lived in Black neighborhoods in California, right? And the other thing they have to think about is, what about all the Californians that moved due to the housing cost out there, and they moved to different states because they just could not afford to live there? As we know, the Black population in California is a little bit below 6%, and it is dropping even more so because Black people just cannot afford to live in California. Way too expensive, right? So those are the things they have to consider, but they have until July 1st to come up with, I guess, a final recommendation as to what they want to do. Of course, earlier on, they had to weed out people who were not considered ADOS, American descendants of slaves. So that included people from Africa, Haiti, or anywhere else that are Black, but they're just not, descendants of American slavery. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to see what they come up with. It shall be interesting. Of course, they came up with the number not too long ago, $223,000 per Black California that are ADOS, if you will. But some are saying that's not enough. In fact, one man was like, nah, we need about $350,000. And that's just the start, right? We know even that is a low number, but he's saying at least bump it up to there and give business owners $250,000, I guess, additional to help them flourish. And so again, we're going to see what happens. But yeah, they are moving right along there. And in fact, it sounds like Boston is also coming up with a task force.
All right, that's video number one. Before I go in the chat, I want to play all of the different little videos. And I'm just not looking right now, and I'm not streaming on Facebook. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm only streaming on YouTube. So you guys are blessed and special. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the next video, okay? Americans demand reparations. Okay, I want to go through all of them. It's only if they short, so calm your nerves and flow with me. Y'all know how this go. All right, love y'all. Here you go.
Today we're talking about details from a San Francisco committee about reparations for Black residents, which would be millions of dollars per person, plus an update on Southwest holiday travel catastrophe. We're going to start in San Francisco. The city's African American Reparations Advisory Committee presented proposals to city leaders last month, and we're getting some details now. According to the Chronicle, one proposal would be a lump sum reparations payment of $5 million to each eligible person. Residents must be 18 at the time the committee's proposal is enacted and have identified as Black or African American on public documents for at least 10 years. They also have to prove they were born in the city between 1940 and 1996, have lived in San Francisco for at least 13 years, and be someone or the direct descendant of someone incarcerated during the war on drugs. The committee will submit its final proposal to city leaders in June. This is gaining nationwide attention.
Mm-hmm. It's really interesting. So I just did a little breakdown to think about how many people this could be. And I know this number isn't it, but just so that we can paint a picture of the numbers in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So this is the Census Bureau from 2020, 392,000 white people, about 300,000 people that identify as Asian American, 132,000 Hispanic, 44,000 Black in San Francisco. That is pretty small.
It's a really low number.
Really low number. And then you have to think about all of these requirements. So many people, especially in San Francisco, we know are transplants.
Right.
Also may not be descendants of slaves, may not have been born within these parameters. Like when you really get down to all these requirements, I'm curious how many people that is.
And the war on drugs component was one that I didn't expect.
I didn't either, but it does make a lot of sense. I mean, it led to mass incarceration in the United States in the 80s. So, I mean, yeah, for sure. And there is a pretty interesting tie to California with the war on drugs that I saw. There's this documentary, you want to check it out. Sorry, it's not on our network, but it's called Crack. It's on Netflix, and it really kind of spells that out for us.
It's called Cracked?
It's called Crack. Like,
oh, just C-R-A-C-K. Okay.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Wow. So I'm gonna put the link to that video because that video is 750. Okay, that's interesting too. And interesting thing I like when they talked about the war on drugs, and we don't understand how that affects our community. We found out about the effects of the war on drugs after it hit our community, right? That's what usually happens. We find out the effects after. Again, fair use. You know, so I'm going to show two more little short videos, and then we're going to chop it up. So here's a little video, but I'm going to play that real quick. Here we go.
Any amount is too little, and every amount is never enough.
Your job is to hear us. We want transparency. First thing I said yesterday was the dead people in front of us. And we say from my neighborhood, the dead homies. They will be respected to get reparations as well, to pass out to the people.
I think the reparations should be as follows. It's to be gifted to us with gold and silver bullion to, as I said before, my antebellum slaves and ancestors and their heirs. It should be measured in the amount of 1 troy ounce of gold and silver per each antebellum slave and their descendants, according to the conditions of the mother for 16 generations. That equals 1,724 metric tons of gold and silver bullion.
At the end of the day.
Wow, brother broke that down. I'll take my reparations in small bills. Dang, that's interesting. Got one more video. Now, the NAACP slams it. As we know, the NAACP in San Francisco said, no, that's not right. You shouldn't get paid anything. Right? And we're going somewhere with this. There's no right or wrong answers. I'm gonna share what I think, and then we're gonna move on. Here we go.
Criteria as to who should qualify for that. Well, the San Francisco NAACP then put out a statement where they said they actually rejected this particular committee's recommendation arguing that the money should be dispersed by investments and opportunities to the Black community, but not direct cash payments. And the San Francisco Board of Supervisors embraced the 111 recommendations from the city-appointed reparations committee, including lump sum payments of $5 million to every eligible Black citizen, guaranteed income of $97,000 per year for 250 years, eliminating a personal debt and tax burdens in homes for just $1. The San Francisco Reparations Committee's final report is due on July 1st. Joining us now is the president of the NAACP chapter there, also a member of the San Francisco Reparations Task Force, Reverend Dr. Amos Brown. Doc, glad to have you on the show. So first,
Thank you for the opportunity.
First, Pastor Brown, you have been a longtime supporter of reparations, correct?
Yes, I have. And also I'm vice chair of the state reparations task force.
So you're a member of the San Francisco Task Force Committee and the vice chair of the state committee that's been examining this as well. A lot of people have been blasting you and the chapter for this particular statement, saying, how dare you oppose the money going direct as opposed to the 5 areas that y'all outlined. Why has the chapter taken the position to oppose the committee's recommendation of direct payments as opposed to the 5 areas y'all laid out?
Let me give you some clarification and do some truthful branch cash payments.
Okay, first of all, Pastor Brown, hold on. You broke up there, so start your comment over again. Go ahead.
I, Julian Gordon, with this mortgage, relinquish part of my freedom to Saeed.
What?
Do you know that the word mortgage literally means death pledge? The prefix mort is the same as
do a commercial in the middle of the thing. Sorry, y'all.
Truth tell is not against cash payments at all. But we're against being put in a trick bag and set up for failure. And those members of the Board of Supervisors gave lip service to the concept, the idea of reparations. But beginning with the chair, he's the one who said no cash. And the chairperson of the Finance Committee, an Asian lady, Ms. Chan, said, we have a deficit in the city. And we cannot afford it. The point, brother, I'm making is that we must not let our adversaries, whoever they may be, set us up for another study, another to be put on a shelf and to collect dust. We must have action and action now. We believe in cash plus. It's not either or.
So when you say the setup,
all right.
2 wings for bird.
I'm going to pause
so when you
that.
say there's a setup,
I'm gonna pause that and put that in the chat too. All right, but so he was like, no cash or plus is cash plus. All right, so this is just a interesting thing, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted a reparation check for my dead homies, and it was just wow. What do you guys think about that? Type what you think about that in the chat. Here's what I think, man. A part of Deuteronomy 28, it says, no man shall buy you and no man shall rescue you. So, I don't know. Part of me is saying that if anybody take care of us or come to our aid or come to our rescue or save us, you know, waiting for Superman type stuff, then we going to worship that entity or that people or that person or whatever, because we are created to worship, right? So that's the first thing. That's my first thing. And so it's not by might or by power, but it's by his Ruach, his spirit. So he knows the exact amount, right? The great substance. He knows the exact amount. So you can't be like, I'll take a pack of Cool Miles, menthol, and my reparations in all nickels. No, man. What? What you mean? And Little Debbie's cake. No, bro. Scratch your win ticket, nickels, Little Debbie. No. Not by might or by power, but by his spirit. The Ruach know exactly how much we need to be compensated. So I'll let him do that. You know what I'm saying? Second of all, how could we actually calculate their figure? This was one of the things I was mentioning on Sister E's show last night. How can we actually calculate that figure? Now that brother, it looked like he might have been a Moor because he had on the fez hanging off the cap and all that. So he broke it down in metric tons, and I was like, that's pretty impressive. But you still can't really say because we just didn't pick cotton and tobacco and things like that. We actually also built the railroads. We built the White House. We did a lot of stuff here, man. We did a lot of stuff here, and as we speak, we're still nation building right now because NAAC and the March Madness is going on right now, and they're filling up them coliseums. Now, granted, they got all nationalities playing, but it's majority. I'm gonna be real. It's majority us's, man, filling up them coliseums and those stadiums and all of that stuff. All of the bowls, Orange Bowl, Rose Bowl, Super Bowl, all of those bowls, and then March Madness, and then NBA Finals, and then NBA All-Star Weekend. I can go on and on and on and on and on. We give so much money. So if one person is making $21 million a year, how much are they bringing in? Because they're not going to make more than what they're bringing in, but I digress. So the first thing is, how can we actually calculate that figure? The second thing is possibly hardening of the heart, because some folk was like, "No, y'all shouldn't get nothing. Y'all should not get anything." Right? The slavery happened all over the world. That was a terrible time. We should just get over that. It should be cool, right? Even the redacted when Teo showed this. Do you believe we should pay reparations? And 80% of the followers are redacted. I think it was over 100,000. I don't know how many subscribers, but I know it's a lot. It was saying 88% was saying no. So I was like, wow, okay, well, I feel you. We welfare kings and welfare queens looking for a handout and the scratch and win ticket or whatever they try to write us out to be. Okay, so that's the next thing. The heart, it could be a heart and another heart, and then one of the last things is they just don't. The next thing is fiat currency. So the American dollar is crashing. The banks are crashing. It's just going crazy, right? Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs around this place. So you're gonna give me $5 million, but is it really worth $5 million? Is my question. Is it really worth $5 million? Because to be honest, even today, in my opinion, a 20 is worth a 10, and a 10 is worth a 5. Right? Inflation is crazy. So is it really worth $5 million? Right? What is the equivalent of $5 million today? Right? It's probably not better. So it's fiat currency, not backed by gold, dollar crashing. You give me all this money, and then it just like Thanos snapping his fingers. Just all my $5 million just go to dust. Then the stipulations, right? You got to be this. You got to be you got to have this, and you can't be that. You got to be a part of the slavery, and you got to prove it, and your stubs, and it's like it's just a lot of red tape of trying to discourage you from getting it. But they're trying to quote unquote make amends by talking about it. I don't think they have no intentions on paying it. Okay, so now here's another thing too. Back to the March Madness, right? They could say, "Yo, we don't have the money. You see, we got all this different stuff. We gave stimulus out. We gave all this stuff. It's a debt bubble. However, if you can go to school for free, like at these major universities, free ride. I'm just giving you some ideas, but I know it's free ride, straight up. You don't have to have an academic scholarship. You don't got to have no athletic scholarship. Free ride. I mean, some stipulations so they can stay in the whole time, so they don't waste no dorm room and books and stuff. Free ride, free all of that. All right, that's one thing you can do. All right. Second thing you can do is free life skills training, plumbing, carpentry, electric work, yada, 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 right? And then get them a contract. And then they family, that's who run it, right? If you mean with the cooking, right? Okay, you catering, right? We give you all of the equipment that you need, this, that, and the other. And guess what? You doing all the cooking for, let's say, if you stay in Buffalo, New York, you doing all of the cooking for that stadium when they had a football game. All that bread go to you, right? Or you doing if you're doing printing, you printing all of the T-shirts for March Madness when they come for Kansas, for the University of Kansas, the whole time they come. You and 3 other families, or you or 5 other families or whatever, right? And you get all of the money for it. But we know they're not gonna do that, right? We know that because you won't be the consumer no more. You won't be dependent no more. You'll be the producer and you'll be their competition. And some people still think you 3/5 of a man and you don't deserve it anyway, and this, that, and the other. But I'm just giving some different ideas if they were genuine about reparations. Okay, man, $5 million per person, that's a lot. I can't pay you, but we can do other things if you were sincere about it, right? The Native Americans, they gave them the crappy states. Well, I ain't gonna say the crappy states because some of y'all might live in them states. They gave them, I sound like Trump when I said that. They gave them the non-desirable states, right? Pushed them in the corner somewhere and gave them a casino, right? I don't know if that's, but they gave them something. Everybody got something, okay? We didn't end up getting anything. No man shall buy you. So I would tremble in my boots because we've been in an abusive relationship with the United States of America and allies for over 400 years. Abusive relationship. You know how abusive relationships be, right? You think there's no way out, right? No, it is a way out. There is a way out. We have a Redeemer. Our Redeemer lived, and there is a way out. And it will stop. It will stop, right? Not by might or by power, not because I said so, but the scripture says so, and he says so, right? And as it says in Jeremiah 29:11, there's an expected end, which means there's a hope, there's a destination, there's a purpose, there's an expected end when it comes to this. So I gave us a few ideas on how to, you know what I mean, or ticket sales. Shoot. All right, these 4 families right here, that March Madness weekend, I don't even want to know how much they make per stadium. Not the whole March Madness. One stadium, right? They right now they're playing in North Carolina. They're playing in the Notre Dame gym. They're playing in all the gyms all across the world, all across the United States. How much money is one gym? Not all of them. One gym bringing in. By the time you do concession, by the time you do all of that stuff, right? T-shirts, right? Tickets. By the time you do all of that, how much are they making? They're making some nice money. Now, granted, it's not as big as the debt, but they're making some nice money. So I believe no man shall buy you, and they think that they're untouchable. Sometimes pride makes you delusional. How can I say it like that? Like I haven't, and I don't have to. I'm on top. I'm gonna always be on top, and can't nobody do nothing about it, right? That's why. That's how I feel that some people really, really. So, that's interesting. All right. Now I was like, okay, cool. You might not got it. So I'm gonna play this other little clip, and then I'm gonna read the comments because we got 20 comments. Shalom, blessings to everybody. Share when you come in. Oh, not that one. Still mad right there. Like, hold on. I put the link to that one in the chat. It's interesting, right? Again, this is not to make you upset. Now we got one dude, Leo Terrell, real mad about us getting some free money. Check him out.
This is outrageous. It's unlawful. It's unconstitutional. It's racist, but it's not surprising it came from California. On the day of MLK's life, birthday, we're talking about a racist program to benefit individuals who happen to be black, $5 million. California was a free state. Who's going to pay for it? Why should they get $5 million? Because of skin color? It's insulting. It's racist. And I'll tell you right now, this state a couple of years ago tried to pass Prop 16, an old version of affirmative action. It lost, even though that meant that there was sane Democrats who knew it's unfair to benefit one group over another because of skin color. One last point. Somebody said, judge a person by the character of his conduct, not the color of his skin. And that is a person that we should be following, not giving people $5 million based on skin color. It's outrageous. Pete, Larry, this is.
All right. So you heard Leo Terrell. He's like mad. They even brought it up. They didn't even cut the check. That man was mad. Boy, he must got a handler for real. That sunken place. Anyway, I don't know. All right. So then I was like, okay. I start seeing the shout out to Ruhama Shama. She had posted this one little meme. I think it was her, but she had posted this one little meme that's saying people that's getting paid. Because they say we ain't got it, man. We down bad, banks collapsing, we ain't got it. We can't help you. But I got to put up these statistics. Boom. Where most aid to the Ukraine comes from. So the blue is military, right? The pink is humanitarian, and the green is financial. Check out how much the United States countries committing the most aid to the Ukraine between January 24th and November 20th, 2022 in billions of dollars. Look at that. Okay. That is insane. Look how much funding they got, right? But we ain't got it. They got some. Then the EU, look at the green, how much bread they kicked out. Norway, Germany, Canada, Poland, France, United Kingdom, dropping bread to help out the Ukraine. That's a selective empathy. I talked about a couple of shows back, right? Let's see this one. U.S. aid to Israel since 1948 or whatever. U.S. aid commits to Israel have increased the total amount of military aid pledge, right? So between 2019 and 2028, they're gonna increase by over 35 billion. All right. So that's military aid, but not only military aid, but financially too. The Holocaust survivors and different things like that. So if you don't have the money, how do you have the money to do that? Israel will be receiving $38 billion in U.S. military over the next 10 years, beginning in 2018. And they're saying this could provide 4-year scholarships to 1.1 million college students in the United States, right? And this now I don't think it's it's 15 million of us, but that's gonna be a good start. You feel what I'm saying? And so I don't know, man. You got it. You just I ain't even got it, man. I ain't even got it. That's wild, man. Very, very wild. All right, so I'm gonna show this article real quick, and then I'm gonna check the chat. So present screen. How much money has the U.S. given to Ukraine? President Joe Biden announces a nearly $500 million more of U.S. military aid to Ukraine during a surprise visit, right? That's the top of the billions the U.S. has already spent on Ukraine's conflict with Russia, right? Congress approved more than $112 billion in 2022 alone. $112 billion in 2022 alone. The U.S. is the largest contributor to the Ukraine in terms of money spent. Wow. You got Rodney Dangerfield. No respect. No respect, Hebrew. That's cray. Let's see what y'all say in the chat. Oh, man. They created the money bailout with those rich folks with the VB Bank. Yes. And I've also seen a little I should have posted that as far as Israel conveniently knew that the bank was going to mess up. So they withdrew $1 billion before that. Before that. Roland's wife is a minister family. Roland's wife is a minister, 501c3. Okay. Charles West. You know where I work? There are people with no college degrees, but they are supervised positions over. Oh, absolutely. You know what? I'm going to tell you like this. It's very interesting. I have trained twice, maybe 3 times, my supervisor, right? My supervisor, guess what color? And they were younger than me, right? And I would have to show them the ropes. No, they getting bread because we work in the special needs department. So special education department get bread. So the first school I was at, not this current school, but the first school I was at, I had to train. Yeah, I had to train my supervisor. Ain't that crazy? I'm the teacher of service, and there's a teacher of record, and I had to train the teacher of record the job. So that's what made me think about when you put that. Yeah. Emaya Levi, shalom, shalom. Blessings to you, blessings to you. Blessings. Ophi's Chalmers, Ophi's the Hebrew Chalmers, shalom, blessings to you. Blessings to you. We just chewing the fat. We're just having this reparation conversation this evening. We're about to get off here real soon, but I just thought that was very interesting. The only reason we're talking about it right now are the countries have pardoned our slave. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. That's what I'm saying. Why do the heathen rage? What is that? What was that? Psalm 83? And they come together and conspire against Abba Yah's anointed. Right? And that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Man, so I'm looking in the chat right now. Okay, this is a good one right here. Why don't we set up a network for skilled trade workers in Israel to train those who don't know to learn, like an apprenticeship program, and help build houses in the community or flip older homes? Yes, I also thought about that as far as because a lot of people got those properties, like you said, flip homes, but some people got rental properties, right? And they're doing, excuse me, a drywall, carpentry, plumbing, the whole nine. Take some young cats as an apprentice. Of course, you got to be certified, but then you got to, but you'll have the skills under your belt. Sweat equity. I think sweat equity is the best way to learn. Grab some kids, they sitting around looking at their phones anyway, making TikTok videos. Like, all right, turn that TikTok off. Come with me. You going with Uncle Leroy. He owns some properties. He's a property manager. He owns some properties. And you're going to learn drywall all this week. You're going to learn how to do plumbing all this week. Your cousin, he's going to be working on cars. Come on out here. You hand him the tools and he'll show you where stuff go, right? You're going to learn stuff. So those different trades we can learn, absolutely. But you made me think about that when you said that. Hotels as well, absolutely. We're going to give you a hotel, right? We're going to give you all the revenue off. You ain't got to take it all. We give you the revenue off certain stuff, right? But I think it's just real wild to be so rich and have so much and want so much more and don't want nobody to get nothing and always crying about taxpayers' dollars. I just think that that's just so wild. Like, one day you're going to put that privilege card in the ATM and it's not going to work. It's going to say insufficient funds. And I know that they know that because every time they swipe, if you don't put no deposits in, I don't care how much money you got. If you don't put no deposits in, you keep swiping. That money going to dwindle and dwindle and dwindle, right? You don't invest, you don't save, right? That money going to dwindle. And it's a card called privilege, right? While they say we play the race card, they play the privilege card. And they keep swiping and swiping and swiping. And one day, as to they know, that card is not going to work. It's not. It's a crappy state. Yeah, I didn't mean the crappy state, so I apologize. So shout out to all the Brews in Wyoming and Idaho and North Dakota. I didn't mean to talk about y'all states. All right, so let's see. They have already paid for my college and my kids too. I want the capital to be able to purchase industries, banking, and educational institutions. That's true. A lot of us got academic and athletic scholarships, or however they do pay for that. But guess what? You got a great idea. They ain't got no Shark Tank set up on campus. That'll be cold. African American investors with Shark Tanks. We got people buying the bar and drinking and making it rain money on the dancers. No, pick them dollars up and come sit your tail down. We have some proposals to pitch from our community. Sit down, right? Don't be buying all these chains and the gold in your mouth and all that. I ain't against gold in your mouth, and I ain't against the chain. But I'm saying, put some of that money into the side, right? We the first generation, second generation of wealth. We don't know what to do with it. That's why we blow it so much, right? All these cars, you only can drive one. So come sit down, create a Shark Tank. We got a brew. They got a great idea for some new software. Great idea for whatever, right? And then they just need the money, because guess what? Those banks, you got to have credit. You got to have assets, right? And if we're first generation, second generation of wealth, we don't have a lot of us don't have the assets like that, right? You might be doing well as quote unquote middle class or whatever, but a lot of us don't have those assets. So I say, set up a Shark Tank type thing for the Brews. Bam, pitch it, right? And then bam, you working with it. Or you say, man, I don't really need no capital. I just need brick and mortar. All right, check this out. You get brick and mortar we're gonna set you up in the mall or strip mall or whatever, and you ain't gotta pay no rent 10 years. And when you do, it's gonna be a third or an eighth, right? No rent. It's rent free. We're gonna take care of the gas, light. We're gonna take care of all that. Rent free, 10 years. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to take care of somebody, you can. If you really want to take care of somebody, you can. Gold and silver, land. That's another thing I was going to say. Gold, silver, land of our choice. No more taxes at anywhere. Just saying, right? Gold, silver. I would say even land for sure, right? And I've seen this with Dr. Umar. Very interesting. A lot of us worked on farms that had land in the South, and he was saying the racism got so bad down there, and people weren't buying it. It wasn't. Sometimes they had a dip in growing, and so they did this great migration up north to Philly, to Detroit, to St. Louis, to Chicago, right, to L.A., right. They migrated north to New York and Harlem, and they left the fields, and they left their farms. I'm kind of tearing it up. It was so brilliant the way he said it. They left their farms, they left their land, and then they come in and buy up the land for cheap. Now they own the land, right? You fled, try to have a better life. A lot of people was over in the war fighting. It's like, come on up here and go ahead. You start getting the American dream. You got to leave those rural areas. So a lot of farmers left their land, and they don't own their land no more, right? And then even the way to get us out of a certain area, you redline, right? You've heard of redlining, or you can, this hood all tore up and everything, and it's ran down and everything. You take the economy out. You take your ball and go home. You take your economy out of there, right? Then everybody leave out. or whatever, or Section 8, or move into one little section of the community of the city, and then you build it up, what they call quote unquote gentrification, right? And then one dude is a black brother. I come, he said, when they leave, we call it white flight, but when they come back, we call it gentrification. I'm like, bro, when you gentrify, when you build the area back up, are we the consumer or the producer? You coming back, you putting things that you like, right? You won't see little chicken joints. You'll see more Starbucks and different things like that. Or do we own it, right? When you gentrify an area, can we have a business in that area and you come by, right? And patronize our area. They're not. Psalm 2, why do the heathen rage? Okay, let's Brew Cream, shalom, shalom, blessings to you. Let's read that, because I had Exodus 7 up about the Pharaoh's heart and his heart, and then Psalm 37. Matter of fact, let's look at all of them. I ain't gonna even be able to get into the rest of the stuff. They trying to throw 45 in jail on Tuesday, and he telling everybody to revolt. Man, still got a lot of power and influence, and so radioactive leak in Minnesota. I was gonna show that one. So I don't know if that is a matter of fact, we still might show those. But I don't know if that is poisoning in the water or just a coincidence. All of a sudden we got derailments and toxic chemicals and stuff burning, and you know what I'm saying? It's like a scorched earth technique. Then pray for the people in Ecuador, because over 13 is dead with a massive earthquake. Anything over a 5.5 earthquake, it will tear it up. I think it was 7 or 8. Anything over 5.5 earthquake, it will tear your joints up. Yeah. Okay, what else? Somebody said what movie can I watch with family tonight? I think it's a movie on Netflix called Crack. I haven't seen it. They have a lot of war on drug type movies and talk about how it decimates our community. And I have to watch these in increments. I can't binge watch that stuff because it bothers me. But I do want the information, right? So I watch it in increments. I haven't even seen that yet, but that's what they said. It's supposedly on Netflix. It's supposed to be a little movie, a documentary called Crack. But we know that the Freeway Ricky Ross thing, with Reagan and the contrabands and the Contra War and all of that stuff, and and every war is funded, right? So the war on drugs is funded by putting cracks in our neighborhood. And then as you put cracks in our neighborhood or make it accessible to our neighborhood, then you kick the door in and take us all to jail because of the prison industrial complex. Prison industrial complex. And they don't want to talk about that. And that's the reason why they push bills and laws to keep a critical race theory out of schools. Now, it's not to make you feel bad or make your grandkids feel bad. It's not what it's about. It's about telling the truth, right? So, but again, if you own the publishing company, you write what goes in the curriculum, right? So some schools in Texas, they're trying to take slavery out of the books altogether because they don't want the trauma of feeling bad, not the actual trauma of getting your family members getting carted off to jail. They don't want the trauma of feeling bad. All right. So let's read that. But yeah, land is definitely important. Land is definitely. I think that the land is very much needed. But I don't know about here. I don't know about here, man. I don't know about here in the state if I would want land because I don't know. My land next to a little creek or next to the Mississippi River and you poison the river. I don't know, man. I know that's conspiracy theories, but stuff be going on. You flying real hard, putting this chemtrails over my site. You know what I mean? They got it out bad for us, man. I'm not trying to make nobody the boogeyman, but they have not stopped since 1865. Have not stopped. Right? They repackage it. Oh man, we're not like that no more. Line up, get this jab. It ain't like the Tuskegee Air Report, no, Tuskegee Airmen, Tuskegee Institute, right? Taking the jabs and all that stuff. It ain't like that no more. We've changed. Oh, really? Okay. Right? You just repackaged it. Same people. Great grandchildren. Same people. And so, man, it's crazy. They don't want you to talk about it. They want you to turn the other cheek and pray to Republican Jesus, right? And I'm not against the Mashiach at all. And no, I'm not trying to disrespect Mashiach. And when I say Republican Jesus, I'm talking about a made up man that they made up, a 33-year-old heterosexual white man, right? Who is against terrorists, communists, socialists, Black Lives Matter, wokeism. He's against all that, right? But the Yahushua that I see in the Bible says he come to set the captives free. So he with liberation theology. He come to set us free. He don't come to bind us, right? And that's the difference between religion and a relationship, and putting things in context and cultural context. Yahushua is different than Republican Jesus, right? And I'm not, anybody can come to, I'm not saying Gentiles can't be saved, because some people believe that, right? But I'm just saying, the Republican Jesus is made up. Like, you can still kill and destroy and do what thy will. And I like the way Teo put that. You can do whatever you want to, and then just say the sinner's prayer and you're good, right? But if we even turn a nostril or get frowned up, we're supposed to repent and turn the other cheek and be Christ-like, And the Bible do say that, and I'm not going against it. However, if we on the same team, you telling me what to do and what not to do and how to live and how not to live, you need to live by the same thing. You want me to turn the other cheek when it comes to reparations, and that happened a long time ago, right? With slavery and different things that happened to us, happened so long ago. But man, forgive Hitler. Like I said the other day on Pastor Kelly's show, forgive Hitler. We ain't gonna talk about how much of a monster Hitler is. Forgive him. Forgive his descendants. We forgive you, Hitler, right? But they need a boogeyman. They need terrorism. They need communism. They need socialism. They need something. You know what I mean? To rally and fight against. Anyway, I digress. All right, so we're gonna read these scriptures. We're gonna read that Psalm 2. We might read that Psalm 83, and I'm gonna read the Psalm 37, and we're gonna get out of here. Caesar Borgia. Yeah, dang, they coming with it, boy. They don't play, boy. Look at that. They is not playing. They is not playing. Yeah, he said not here but Ghana. And also too, shout out to Pastor Kelly too. He was talking about do the research before we go over that, right? Because it's gonna be a lot of different things, even though things happen to us over here. It's a different way of life. So a lot of amenities and things that we're used to, we have to have a whole shift, whole mind change, right? You just walk into a store and get ABC, XYZ all of the time. Now it's not just desolate like that. They got some modern cities, but do your research and ask the Most High when to leave and where to go. He might not say, "Look, I'm gonna protect you, and it ain't time to leave yet." Right? You don't want to go ahead of time. All right. So that was a good wisdom from him. And what's his name? Eshawn Burgundy. The pros and cons of Africa, pretty much. I'm gonna read that, and I'm gonna listen to that rather. And Go Black to Africa. He talking about the pros and cons, and we gotta just be, transparent and serious, and realistic, right? Not to be fear to keep us away, but really do our research so we can know it's a spirit-led move, you know what I mean? But at the same time, if you're dumping nuclear chemicals into my water and buying up the farmland so I can't eat, and GMO and seedless this and that, chemtrails. It's like, yo, y'all is tripping. Passing laws. I think it was passing a law to bring lynching back or something. I'm gonna look that up before I quote all that. But it's just weird, man. It's just weird. Need to teach your family. Yeah, we need to teach our family, definitely. Absolutely. 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 And that's where I would want to go. Ghana or Benin or Togo. I would like to go to those places. And I really want to visit Kenya and Ethiopia. And I know, in Egypt, but Ethiopia, man. Ethiopia and Kenya, right? I really would like to just go through there. But as far as residing, y'all Terry spend life, and we get out of here. Ghana, Togo, Benin, somewhere over there, somewhere in the slave coast, so-called slave coast, somewhere in West Africa. That would be cool. But I digress. So let me get right into this. We're gonna get out of here because I got a few things to do. But Exodus 7. But Pharaoh, okay. And the Most High said unto Moses, see, I have made thee a god to Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet. Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send the children of Israel out of his land. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart and multiply the signs and the wonders in the land of Egypt. So this is the first captivity before the first Exodus, right? When we was in captivity in Egypt. He said, I will harden Pharaoh's heart and multiply the signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. No man shall buy you. Because, we don't take nothing but a second for us to worship, right? We are worshiping a minute because that's what we created to do, worship. And we are created to lead others to worship. But no man shall buy you, okay? But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that I may lay my hand upon Egypt and bring forth my armies and my people, the children of Israel, out of the land of Egypt by great judgment. So it could be the Most High heart. No, you ain't getting reparations. We ain't got it. We ain't this, that, and the other. Oh, okay. The Most High is revealing hearts. And it's in time. We ain't got it. And then the whole thing in Ukraine. And then next thing you know, you're helping like a mug. But see, that's what it is. The wars, they make so much money off the wars. Okay? So a lot of times before, when I was younger, I used to think that wars just started. Okay? As all of us did, right? That's what was taught in the history books. This side say forget you. This side say forget you. Then this country call that country's mama. Then that country throw a rock at that country, and we in the war. Bam. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, whoa. Should have said that about that country's mama and should have thrown a rock at him. Now we all in out fighting. But we think we know about the Rothschilds and the people who own the bank and the shadow government and all that. They control these wars. So if you fund both sides of the war, then you make all the bread. The loser is indebted to you. And the winner, you split the spoils of war with the winner. So it's like you in the cola business and you owning Coke, you funding Coke and Pepsi. If I should say it like that. You funding Coke and Pepsi. Feel me? So once a place get decimated from a war, tore up, then it's like, all right, we gonna help you build it back up. We sorry. We ain't mean to bust your stuff up like that. Here we go. But we're gonna use my steel, my contractors. When you build businesses, we're gonna have my businesses over there. And that's the reason why Japan is not tore up in third world country right now after they dropped the Hiroshima, right? Go in there, blow it up, make amends, kiss and make up, build it up, but now you got your claws in that nation, right? And it happens all the time. You fund the war. The war on drugs is funded. I'm gonna say it again. The war on drugs is funded. You fund the war, but guess what? You decimate our community, right? If you look at our community, a lot of them are not rebuilt up, right? Even in the Civil War, when the North fought the South and all of this, they had a what? It was called what? Start with R. Reconstruction. Yo, we didn't tow this planet. We didn't tow this United States up, right? We tow United States up. We have to rebuild it, reconstruction, and hooked everybody up, right? Man, we sorry y'all lost y'all slaves, y'all workers. We can give y'all reparations, right? Homestead Act. We're gonna give y'all land, right? Man, we sorry that happened to y'all. You know, North and South, kiss and hug and kiss and make up. And then we still on the outskirts, didn't get our 40 acres of mules and $100, right? Because we are the labor force. We are the consumer. We are the nation builders. If you give us 40 acres of mule and $100, then we're your competition and you're done in 10 years or less. You're done. Because why would I come work your farm? Why would I come be your sharecropper and share crop with you when I own my own? I'm going to blow you out the water. So they had to repackage that. Be like, nah, we'll keep the land, but you just work for us. Thus, you look up today, minimum wage, right? The rich get richer, the poor get poor. Got to leave one job to go to the other job. Can't raise your kids. Drop them off at the daycare. If you're blessed enough to have an auntie or a cousin or a grandmother to watch them, that's a blessing. If not, you're dropping them off to the daycare and you're never catching up. You're playing from debt. You're never catching up because you got to pay the babysitter. You got to go back to work so you can pay your bills, so you can pay the babysitter. It's a vicious cycle. And then after 5 years, 6 years, that's the impressionable years. Kids they detach. They really don't know you, right? The internet then raised them, and that's by design, right? They don't get the nourishment and the nurturing from the mom on and pop, right? And I don't know how I went to this, but I'm just saying, wars are created. They make these wars up, right? And so I'm thinking, I said that to say, they have, if they help out with the Ukraine when they build Khazaria 2.0, then they want to have some stake in it, or they might want to have a place to go, right? When Babylon the Great falling, everybody can go back to their home. Everybody, right? But we've been 400 years removed. It's going to be supernatural and divine to show us where to go and how to go and what to do. All right. So that's that scripture. Did I read all what I want to read out of that? Okay, let me go back. We're going to get out of here, but we just chewing the fat. 25. And the Egyptians shall know, come on, the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, the Most High, when I stretch forth my hand upon Egypt and bring out the children of Israel from among them. So they're going to learn today. And they're going to know that, learn today in that second Exodus too, right? People who deny it, we ain't got to, get all indignant and ignorant. No, that's cool. You ain't got to, I ain't going to, I told you so. No, you're going to come out with great substance again. And we're not going to beg you for it. None of that. None of that. Psalms 37 and 1. We're going to read Psalms 37 and then Psalms 83. Oh, no, Psalms 2, and then we're going to get out of here. All right, because we are, I like to do an hour. I don't like to go over no hour show. Let's see. No, come on. 37. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Trust in the Most High and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself in the Most High, and he shall give you the desires of thy heart. Commit thy way unto the Most High, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. He shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and the judgment as the noonday. Rest in the Most High, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospers in his way, because the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil, for evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Most High shall inherit the earth. Those that wait upon the Most High shall inherit the earth. We will inherit the earth. Praise Yahushua. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. But the meek shall inherit the earth. Inheritance means I'm going to give it to you. You don't have to colonize. You don't have to steal, kill, and destroy for it. You don't have to trick people out of it. You don't have to kill people off and then live on. No, you shall inherit the earth and shall delight yourself in the abundance of peace. The wicked plotted against the just and gnashed upon him with his teeth. The Most High shall laugh, for he sees that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow and cast down their poor and needy to slay such as be upon a be of upright conversation. Their sword shall enter their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. That's powerful. You dig a ditch for somebody else and you fall in it. Their sword shall enter their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. A little while, a little that the righteous man have is better than the riches of the wicked. So we can't covet after what the wicked have, because it's short-lived and it's temporary. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Most High upholdeth the righteous. The Most High knoweth the day of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. Did you see that? Ooh, that's a promise from the Most High. You should be excited. You should be excited. You should be excited. He said it, and his word will not return to him void. The days of famine, they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Most High shall be as the fat of the lambs. They shall consume, and to smoke they shall consume away. The wicked borrow and pay not again, but the righteous showeth mercy and give. For such as be blessed of him shall inherit the earth. They got that inheritance again. And they shall be cursed of him, and they that be cursed of him shall be cut off. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Most High, and he delighted in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Most High holdeth him with his hand. I have been young, and now I am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. He is ever merciful and lendeth, and his seed is blessed. Depart from evil and do good, and dwell forevermore. For the Most High love judgment, and forsake not his saints. They are preserved forever. Wow. Another promise. Powerful. But the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell therein forever. The mouth of the righteous speak wisdom, and his tongue talk of judgment. The law of his Abba is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. The wicked watches the righteous and seek to slay him. That is true right there. The wicked be watching, be trolling, be coming in to see what we talking about. Don't think that you ain't being watched. Oh, you being watched. You being watched. The Most High would not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait upon the Most High and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee, that inheritance again, to inherit the land When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. I have seen the wicked in great power. Don't we see that? Got everything. Great power. Making choices, right? Making decisions on your behalf. Making mandatory jabs and all kind of crazy stuff. It ain't no my body, my choice. And I ain't, it's my body, my choice to kill my seed. Because I'm made in the image and likeness of the Abba Yah. But it ain't my body, my choice to put poison in me. And spread himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found. Mark the perfect man and behold the upright, for the end of that man is shalom, is peace. But the transgressor shall be destroyed together. The end of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is of the Most High. He is their strength in the time of trouble. He will be our strength in the time of trouble. And the Most High shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in him. All right? And right there, I'm not going to read the other ones. I might read the other ones in another show. Woo! All right, look at these comments. We're going to get out of here. Oh. Yeah. Amen. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. So it's all good. We praise the Most High. And join me every Sunday. And this is not going to be the only day I'm on here. But join me every Sunday. Join me every Sunday, 6 p.m. Central. Y'all Terry Spare Life. I know for some of y'all that's kind of early. But if I slide it back, it's probably going to be slid back an hour, 7 p.m. Central. But you will know. But I'm going to keep consistent and persistent on what I got. So I will be doing other shows and other interviews. But this time for sure, if I'm just coming on for 10 minutes, I'm going to come on and see what's going on. Elephant Man Podcast Network, Grown Man Conversations dealing with elephants in the room. I am out. Shalom, family. Perfect.